Welcome back to the Natural Physique podcast. Thank you for joining us again. Just a three-man this time. We've never got all four of us. And Finn, once again, is working at the gym just now, so he can't just podcast in front of people at the front desk. So you got our three favourites in. We're gonna chat shit and just kind of talk about anything really, training, anything along those lines. I didn't put a story up for a question box. I'm actually gonna do so just now. To see if anyone gets any in by like midway through the podcast and we'll see how it goes. But I'm gonna get a photo. Jeez, nice. You caught it right on it.
Hell yeah.
Right on it. Lovely. Right, so let's get into it. Everyone, since we last spoke, anything happens, exciting about your weeks, training, fucking big wins, anything funny happen.
Um, Fucking for me, no, I've not been in the podcast for a couple weeks now. But everything's going good. Cliff jumping tomorrow, which will be
Yes,
fun.
sir.
Ooh.
So I made my ACL almost went fucking tit. Josh can back me up. I slipped on this mossy rock, and you know when footballers like they'll fall backwards, but their leg gets trapped underneath them, and their leg
Mm.
just fucking mine done that. So I just looked at Josh like something's gonna have happened, but then I just Jeff Hardy'd it to fuck and jumped off, and I
Yeah,
was
hit the Jeff Hardy up top and then
Full
went
top
for some.
on. Yeah.
yeah. But we're going tomorrow to a place called Glenev, which will
It'll
be
be good.
fucking horny. Is it still to be hot tomorrow?
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah,
It'll
it's
be a
supposed
little
to be
bit
like
colder.
until like next week, I'm pretty sure. Like
Mate, I
in
think
20
tomorrow's
degrees.
22 degrees, Friday's 24 degrees, Saturday's 23 degrees, Sunday's 24 degrees. It's like sun the full time.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Saturday we've got the cookout at Finn's
Barbecue.
Cafe. Yes, sir. I'm
How you
getting
doing?
absolutely steaming.
Are we all cooking?
Oh,
I'm not cooking.
medium rare chicken.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry guys, I gave
How do you
everyone
want your chicken?
salmonella.
I don't think Finn knows how to barbecue because he asked me during the week. He was like, "How do you barbecue?"
That's
That's
not a
not
fucking
a
good
good
thing.
sign. Does he even have a barbecue?
He bought one
No.
today. He went on
Oh,
Amazon and had to drop whatever he had to get barbecue and like outdoor furniture and all that. Because
that's not
we'd
great.
sat next to some fucking dandelions and all that on the floor.
Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. Naveed messaged me today actually. You both know about Naveed. I was saying that I was gonna invite him to the barbecue. Um,
Oh
I
yes,
may we've got something to get fitted in the house on Saturday at 2 p.m. Naveed just turns up in his wee handyman thing. Get him to cook the barbecue. Maybe he could cook the barbecue.
it's
You
a
probably
surprise
could.
party for you, Naveed.
No, no job too big. He actually the message that he sent me um was his business card. Where is it? He randomly sent me a message there after like 2 weeks. It's just a photo of his business card, and it still says on it, right there, it says no job too big, no job too small.
Are you
There's
going to
no.
tell him to fix it and tell him about the
I
grammar?
don't have the heart to do it. I feel like it will upset him.
If English was his first language, he maybe could, but
Yeah,
he's just trying his best, isn't he?
it's like he spelled everything else perfect. He's even went through
Yeah.
the full effort to get the business cards made up, and it's still wrong.
Bless him.
Yeah, what a G man. But yeah, we'll see how it goes on Saturday. I think we're gonna train beforehand. I've got upper. Me
We're
no.
all we're all getting to the Birmingham at the same time, aren't we?
Yeah. What time's your flight getting at?
Five
Matthew?
past eight.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we're like the same time. Hold on.
And then I've
Yeah.
I've bought a train ticket for the like 10 to 9 train to Loughborough.
I
Josh
think
was saying we might just get an Uber and split it three ways
if you were
because
to all get an Uber and three-way split it, I think it'll be cheaper than the train, so
have you bought the ticket?
less hassle.
Yeah, I bought a ticket, but mate.
How much they cost you?
I got a return, so it was 30.
Right.
Not awful to be fair.
No, I'll
Um,
just get Finn to pay for it.
Yeah.
Business expense.
Business expense. Yeah.
Invoice.
Tax man. Yeah, it's 7 in the morning.
775 quid Finn spent
Yeah, it's
on the
fucking.
story. Don't
So
have
we
a
get in.
barbecue or any outdoor furniture, so I've just spent 775 quid at Amazon. Guys get too much money, man.
Yeah, mate. Coach, it
Way
must be
too
going all
much.
right for him, fuck's sake.
Just a wee bit. A wee bit.
That's
Oh
one
man.
go cardless payment, guys. That's how much he's charging. That's one go cardless.
You put in your wee letter of resignation, didn't you?
I did. I've left my
Yeah,
job.
like,
I've left my
congrats.
job.
But
Big
you
news.
said it was in like a month's time or something. Like you said after
So
the 20th of the 5th, are they letting you go early or what? Or
no, so the plan was because I've like obviously booked holidays to go over to England like for the next 2, 3 weekends because of
Yep.
shows and fucking birthdays and shit. I was like, you know what, I may as well just see those out, and then once I come back, just give them a notice, and then fuck off. But like, I literally took two clients on Saturday, made more money on that day in an hour and a half than I did in a 9 hour shift on the Sunday, and I
Mm.
was like, what am I doing? Like,
Yeah.
it doesn't even make sense financially to stay. So I was just like, fuck it.
So have you completely gone now?
So as of the 20th,
I've
that'll
got a
be like
week
your last
left.
shift.
So my last shift is next Tuesday, and then that's
That's
me.
so fucking cool, man.
It's
Mate,
gonna be good. Like I'm just
see the
it's the
drive
amount of
home.
time.
Mm,
Yeah, the amount of time I'm gonna save. I can like I can
yeah,
actually have a life. That's the one thing. I
Yeah.
haven't had a life in like a year and a half.
I
yeah.
remember whenever we were talking about like whenever we're getting all this sorted
Yeah.
before the big reveal, and we are talking about how cool would it be if Matt was full time, like because you were still doing the rugby coaching and
I was doing
everything.
like three things,
You
yeah.
were actual out your fart at that point. So now it's like fun, relax, please, guys. Cheers for the month's wage. Like you've actual cooked it in what's it been
Mhm.
5 months, 4 or 5 months?
This is the fifth month, yeah,
That's
Fucking
great,
mental.
man.
which is crazy to say I've gone full time and within 5 months. But I don't know. I think if I was obviously blessed with having, clients of yours just sent to me straight away and just like, right,
Yeah, I
help us.
think that built
There's
things up
already
well.
interest.
Like more so just to
Yeah.
get like the results, the experience, the everything. Like just you posting about it, like popping up a story, and you can see the drastic difference. Even if someone already poses well, like Brandon G, like he still poses
Yeah.
standard, yet some of the differences like mental. So I think that worked really well. To be fair, and then it's just that inquiry form's just blown up, just more and more and more and more.
Yeah, these last few weeks have been fucking wild to be fair.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
it was good. I think this helps in a sense too. Like it's the same as once you're in, you're in. Like if I didn't watch that, I wouldn't be with him. That was the main reason that I ended up inquiring with him because I listened to them, and it was between Reese and Finn, and then I called Reese a poof, so I ended up just going with Finn, which was great. You know,
I
like
had I made like a wee short list of like all the people I was going to go to. There was Reese,
Yeah,
Finn, and then there was Jack Thorburn and George Osborne.
really?
it
Those were my
is.
four, yeah.
To be fair, they are quite popular. They even were quite popular. Like what George on the YouTube scene, and then Jack was like a or is like a big name within natural
So
bodybuilding.
that's like
So,
I ruled those two guys out because I saw them more as like Instagram
mhm.
bodybuilders and influencers more than coaches because I like followed them on Instagram for ages and I was like, I don't know, I don't really view them as a
Just people
coach.
you look up to as well, isn't it, for like the
Yeah,
training side?
Finn, I didn't really know a huge amount about. I just knew that I knew one guy who was coached by him who I was like kind of friendly with.
Yeah,
And then Reese was the same, but I just kind of narrowed it down to them two. And then I was like, Reese is on gear. I'm not going to him.
big
I'll go
cheek,
with him. And fuck.
That's
big
fair.
guy,
I
man.
was just I didn't know about Finn when I inquired, which is so weird to think now that I've been like almost 4 years with him.
Yeah,
But my first inquiry was with the Swiss guy Roman,
Lemacher or
yeah,
something.
Lemacher, and I remember it was
this
like, oh,
is natural bodybuilding.
do you want to know the natural limits? What?
Pure like
Um,
cinematic reels left, right, and center.
oh
Fair dues, they do really well.
Yeah.
yeah,
Guys'
but
engagement's ridiculous.
I was fucking 2021, which is mental, but
Yeah,
yeah, pretty fucking cool to see where the whole business as a whole is with the new brand since it started at the beginning of the year.
it's exciting, isn't it?
Just yeah, it's just mental to think like the position we're in now. Even thinking back to like when I inquired with Finn, like Josh and Noah, when you inquired with Finn, like none of us would have thought any of this would be
All
happening.
retail jobs, like not enjoying anything like
Yeah.
Yeah, we
much.
all were retail actually.
I because you were Curry's Josh, weren't you?
Yeah, curries and then like a little bit of online coaching on the sides. When I started with Finn, I had like a few clients. I think that summer was the one where I went down to like I was sitting like 10 clients before, and then I went to one client, and I was just like, for fuck's sake, like I'm never gonna like actually do this shit. Um, I remember I sat outside Casey's house in my car, like fucking bawling my eyes out because like I hate what I do. I don't enjoy anything. Like I'm not enjoying life. Coaching was going well, now it's going shit. But that was because I was just being a little bit slack with it as well, and that you get into an unproductive rut, and before you know it, you're not really doing anything. And I think that's near when we ended up like I got a few clients back and stuff, and then we went obviously down to Tiefin, and then that's when kind of everything started to catapult a little bit more, the prep, etc., so on and so forth. But yeah, to do this, I think is pretty sick. Like, see, that's what I was saying there. Like, see the drive home from your last shift, mate. Peak. Like, see, knowing that you're never fucking going back there. It was absolutely scorching the day that I done it as well. Blasting music, just right down the motorway with Mazda 2, having the time of my life. Brilliant. Got a wee picture of the Joshy Fit logo printed out, whacked up
Yeah, I
Curry's
remember that.
badge, took a photo.
I
Cool.
wonder should I try and recreate that?
Yeah,
So
and put a
hopefully,
wee side by side transformation. Two
yeah.
years ago versus today.
Get a photo of that
Not
Gucci
edit.
that was complaining about you right next to your Birks and your classic trunks.
Oh mate, yeah,
That
100%, hundred
it'll be
percent.
spotted. Are yous all coming down for like the next few weeks? Like all these shows down in England, yeah.
I'll be going to the MBW show. I want to see AJ compete.
That's next
You mean
weekend,
the
isn't it?
heart of England?
Yes, sorry. Yeah, I'm used to that
I
being
need to
that
I
being
need
the
to get
MBW
tickets
show.
for that.
So I'm yeah. So obviously we've got this weekend, and then PCA Naturals one,
Yep.
and the week after I'm going to the Heart of England as well
Yeah.
with Cameron Balmer and Jake Byers. So you'll see Jake
Right.
if you go.
Oh, Jake
Yeah.
Bears.
Milo.
Milo.
Oh,
Um,
Milo. So have you got an Airbnb then? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So I think we're training at Apollo on Friday,
good
no,
gym.
Saturday maybe.
Yeah.
And then we're going to train at train by JP. We're going to
Yeah.
train there. So never
It'd be
because
so
of
much better if it was just called the Sheds. See if JP fucked off
mm,
and James took it.
yeah.
No,
Would be better
I
than
like
Who you
JP
backing? Who you
edits,
backing in
the
that
the
beef?
TikTok edits.
Yeah.
who am I
Yeah,
backing?
Who you backing in the beef? Yeah.
Oh,
I prefer James over
I've heard
JP.
both. Yeah, I prefer James,
Yeah.
but I've heard some of the shit. So I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I
If
don't really.
anyone wants to know, just inquire for coaching. We'll
Yeah,
tell
1 month sign up and then we'll
you.
tell.
Yeah, then you get the information 1 month in.
I'm the cheapest, so you might as well just go with me.
Yeah. I don't even want to compete ever. I don't even know any of these poses. Yeah, no. Yeah, I really like James. Like when we had sorry the or Finn had the meet up. You and Finn technically no. Down at Train by JP in the shed gym. That was what January 2024. Mine James just like came over and spoke to us for like an hour. Everyone like he was like 2 3 weeks out from the Arnold's. Oh, sorry, maybe like 4 weeks out for the Arnold's because it was back into January. Four
Yeah,
weeks out for the Arnold's, and like the gym was about to shut, and then he was training legs after it. So instead of waiting for us all to leave and then just going and training, he's only came in an hour early and like spoke to all of us, and he was asking me questions about my prep, and I was sat there talking to fucking James Hollinshead, like showing him pictures of my prep, and he was like, "Oh, it's meant this and that." We are speaking about it. I was like, "Fucking hell!" And then trained by JP, like he was just sat there. I was gonna say right to him, but he was eating his pre-workout meal. And you know what? We were like right before going into a top set, maybe like headphones on, like a little bit. Come on, then, come on. And he was literally like that in his pre-workout meal, like out in the lobby. I was like, I'm not saying a fucking word to you. He had over-ear headphones on, just sat there eating the meal. I said, fucking hell. So, hi, mate, I'm a big fan. Can I get a photo? Fuck off, mate. I feel like he is just like obviously he's really good to look up to in terms of training and strength and how hard he applies himself into it, but I could see him being a bit more nasty than James. James is just a big fucking cuddly giant, whereas I could see JP being a little bit more kind of, I don't know,
Mm.
very grungy and shit, isn't he?
Yeah, I'm not really a fan of like the SoundCloud edits and shit.
Yeah.
JP.
Get him.
Sweetest moment.
Get
oh
to
no,
the
I can't lie. I've been spamming the fuck out of them
Have
for
you? Is that why your training's good?
yeah, maybe I was in the so I was doing when I was in for legs on Monday. It was like it was pro life. So the gyms now that like the bunch of people that were like in our circle, Josh, have
yeah.
fucked off. I'm like the only one that really still trains at that time and to
Doesn't
this that
feel
kind of
like
standard.
yeah.
And there's maybe like 3 or 4 people in the leg room. And I got leg extension. I moved it to the last movement after my squats and everything. And I had my straps on in my hand. And as I was changing my song, I accidentally like went on to TikTok. And the first TikTok that came up when the app refreshed was like, "Oh, fucking, you need to be doing that." Hold on, because I'm pretty sure I reposted it. Hold
Do
on.
not fucking miss.
Mate, and I kid you not, I was like, "Oh well, well, fuck the music off then. Come on." And I
Yeah.
just stood there looking at the leg extension, like just barking in my head, like fucking make it move then. And hold on.
The best one's when he goes into the Smith
Start
machine
going
squat.
in and smashing motions. Every single set is like a chance to create a blast.
You're right up for it. I can't hear any music. Is there no music? Is it literally just
No,
him?
there is
Just
there
keep
is
speaking.
music.
Just
It
can't
goes
hear
into
it. Doesn't
deftone. It
pick
goes
loud
into
enough.
deftone. But then it's just him going. Um,
The best one's when he goes into the Smith squat.
Mother,
Motherfucker!
Motherfucker!
motherfucker.
It's so bad.
Corns
Just
trying to get
spitting
like the
everywhere.
belt, one more loop in or something. It's like, motherfucker!
Mate,
Oh,
he's doing a T-bar row and he's like spitting left, right, and center. I'm like, fucking hell, man.
Heavily.
Again, he does train wildly hard. I'm not going to take that away from him, of course. Not who am I to fucking speak on him, but yeah, I feel like he's a little bit intense sometimes. Maybe I'm just a massive pussy.
Yeah,
Could be that.
I think so. Yeah.
A little bit of both. A little bit of both. I think that was the main topic that we were going to kind of speak about in the podcast as well. As like, especially for one night. Matt, have you? I'd say your last maybe rut with training was just back in the prep, no?
No, it's been like last 4 weeks. Not this week. This week, I suppose last week it kind of got back on track, but I'd say like maybe a month ago, I took a bit of a deload because I got sick, and
Yeah.
since that, I had like 2 3 weeks of just awful training because I got
Yeah.
sick again, and I just couldn't get my rhythm back, my momentum. Constantly going back and forth to England as well, traveling,
Yeah, it's
working loads,
difficult.
like with business taking off. My body was just under like a little bit more stress, so then I became more susceptible to getting sick. The sleep wasn't good. I wasn't recovering. So I
Yeah.
just felt pretty fucking shite for like 3 4 weeks on end. And then I just kind of got over the sickness and then took it upon myself to start training well again.
It's the
And I've
thing,
been
it's so easy
fine
to
ever
just
since.
like continue to just cruise with that shit training, like without you
Yeah.
realizing it. Like you actually feel sound again. You don't realize that you're still training like a bit of a fucking gimp. And before you know it, it's like 2 months down the line and you've not really got as much at your training as you should have. Um,
Mm.
I think that's a big thing for me as well, like because I do get ill very frequently and there's like a lot of injuries and stuff I need to work around. Sorry, the wee princess is coming there. But like working around that stuff can be difficult. It's just hard to kind of keep your head screwed on with it. Um, I don't know, it's like motivation starts to go a little bit as well, and oh, she's just fucking counted it. She just fell over. Poor pup. But yeah, something that I struggled with, and I think you know as well. Like, I had a bit of a time where it wasn't more so when you came back from Japan or when you were in Japan, or like since then. What's your training been like, and the ups and downs, etc.
Um, so I think it was a start off with physical like injuries crept up and travel. Just things didn't line up fantastic. I think Josh cannot be arsed listening at all.
Yeah, I'm
So
off, mate. I
I
gotta
might
go.
go as well.
Yeah.
I'm done.
bored them already.
Princess has opened the door completely, so I'm shutting it a wee bit.
So I think it was a combination of the two of them, but when I came back, my mental just wasn't really good. And I think only like a couple months ago, I was able to really like kind of look at myself and be like, I'm not in a good position right now. Um, like I definitely was starting to spiral and I found myself going through the same kind of like um emotions and like what's the word? It's like the same kind of scenarios that I'd found myself in before when my mental wasn't great. And I just kind of reminded myself that I'm not just a coach because it's one of those ones where whenever work's a little bit busier, you can somewhat lean into I'm a
Yeah.
coach. That's the focus. You give yourself a little bit less focus and you apply that energy that you've got wherever it may be towards your clients. And I definitely shifted into like coach mode and put a little bit less pressure and thought towards myself as an athlete. So my training probably wasn't the same standard. Well, I say probably it wasn't the same standard. Not that I didn't work hard, not that I didn't turn up. It just wasn't the same. Like I couldn't get as much from it mentally. My goals weren't really there, and my aspirations weren't as clear as they are now. But having like properly evaluated where I'm at, where I want to be, and reminding myself that I'm an athlete as well. Like as much as my job is being a coach, my hobby is bodybuilding. I enjoy the monotony of eating the same kind of meals, training at the same times, hitting the same movements,
Yeah.
and actually seeing myself change over time. I enjoy that aspect of physique development, and I think being able to like cherish that and be a bit more grateful for it has made my training in turn be a lot better. I'm now getting like a lot more from my movements. So my emotion that I can maybe that I used to find myself just spiraling and be like, oh fuck, oh fuck, oh fuck, it's overwhelming. I'm now channeling that a lot more into my movements where I'm able to like tap into something completely different and everything moves in the way I want it to. I found that, and it's something that I spoke about, I'm writing a post about, is like the goal setting and the pressure that I've put on myself has made everything so much better for myself. Actually giving myself goals and holding myself to that standard. And it's something that I spoke about on the podcast last night as well. Like, I know what I want to achieve, so I'm not just gonna not take the actions towards that.
Yeah, you need direction, don't you? You do.
Yeah, like I need to, for myself, I work a lot better under pressure. I need to have some sort of like real feeling of I need to fucking work for this. And I want to have something that makes me a little bit anxious to work towards. And that's what my goals are going to reflect for next year. And whether we achieve them or not, it's a different question. It's a case of doing everything in my power to
Making
meet.
sure you do the work for it,
Yeah,
yeah. I think
exactly.
that can be hard because, like, if your goal is to compete down the line, or let's say for someone that's just getting into bodybuilding, their goal is to compete late into 2026. From now to there, that sounds like ages away, like a year and a
Fuck all
bit.
time.
Yeah, it's so close. You don't realize that you need to be urgent with your goals. And if you think, oh, I'm competing back into 2026, so like one bad session doesn't matter too much, or one missed meal doesn't matter too much, like it snowballs so easily, like
Yeah.
very, very, very easily. You need to you kind of split that long-term goal up into medium term, short term, medium term, this is what I want out of this phase, this is the body weight that I want to get to. Short term, these are the performance goals that I want to be chasing down in the gym. This is what I'm going to achieve by, the end of this 8 to 10 week mesocycle. Like always have something that's kind of like a little bit urgent. Because like let's say in a bodybuilding prep, it's why you can like lock in so easily in a bodybuilding prep because you've got
Yeah,
the
it's clear as
short
day.
term goal of I'm on stage, so I need to make sure I do everything I fucking do here. And one of my check-ins with Finn, like again, it's not as if like what we were speaking about here isn't us like missing sessions, like not fucking doing anything, like barely moving, all that stuff. Like we're still training, we still look as if we train hard, like when we're in our kind of unproductive phases, but there's just not that same snap to your training, that same aggressiveness, that same ability to progress. Like you can still train really hard, and I say this to a lot of my clients, you can still train really hard, but never move your numbers up at all. Like if we go in and do the exact same numbers that we are doing right now, it will still look as if we're training really hard, and we realistically are training hard. That's close to failure. But if we've not got that desire to like really progress the movements, it's not going to move forwards. And it's so easy to do that when you've got like a long term goal but aren't splitting it up into those short positions. And there was one check in where Finn was like, right, if you were 4 weeks out, would you have missed that there or that there or that there? I was like, no, I wouldn't have. And it's like not always treat your life as if you're 4 weeks out because you'll be a little bit miserable in the sense that you'd never see anyone on social occasions, so on and so forth. But just as if you're in a prep, you make sure everything's nailed with your food, with your training, with your sleep, your recovery, trying your best to do that in an off season as well because it's what's going to make it productive. And a lot of people are like, treat your preps or treat your off seasons like your preps. And again, there's things to take away from that you definitely should take away from it. Again, regarding your training performance, so on and so forth, but maybe not like the right, never fucking have an off plan meal or never go for like social occasions or have a drink or something like that. Like obviously you can do that as well, but I get you smirking thinking about this
Noah loves to
the
drink.
monstrosity that's
Oh,
gonna happen on Saturday.
barbecue.
The barbecue.
I'm so locked in, guys.
Yeah. I'll have a wee cider to be fair.
We need to find that Summersby stuff from the holiday.
Yeah, that is really nice. Fair apple cider, Somersby. I prefer the like black currant ones though. To be fair, just
Get Finn
fucking
to do some
good.
doner kebabs on the
Yeah,
get him doing the hoagies. The
on your
barbecue.
brow, man. Three hoagies, three doner kebabs.
Oh, who said that?
Get the alarms for them. Tell them.
Babylon.
Tell them.
No,
Kebab
that's not
patty.
getting mentioned on the podcast. That's
Oh,
a
come on, it's funny. What?
no,
How
no,
long ago
that's
was
not
it?
fucking
Mate,
funny.
how long ago was it?
It was not funny.
That is hilarious. That is a
I was
brilliant story.
pissing myself for like a solid 5, 10 minutes.
Unbelievable. Tell them.
I was
Nobody
just
even nobody even watches the podcast anyway.
Yeah,
So
no, no viewers.
I'm getting gaslit. No, my clients will be watching this. I can't be setting an
Mate,
example.
it was so long ago. It was before
yeah,
you
it was
even
ages
started.
ago.
Like, yeah, fair dues if it was like a few months ago, but
Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah.
no, it was just that I was very hungry on one particular night out, and I was very drunk as well, and I may have wanted more than one kebab, and we'll leave it at that. And
Set alarms.
the extent of which I wanted those kebabs was a little bit higher than your average food focused man in the off season. So there was different tactics to space out my MPS spikes on that night out because it's got to be done.
Unbelievable.
It was just MPS, guys. It was
Yeah,
just
that's
MPS.
it.
Exactly.
Kept forgetting. Had to make sure you didn't. Absolutely incredible.
Sorry, guys, I'm getting a phone call.
Sneak off. Brilliant.
Oh,
But yeah, I think from like a training side of things and like making sure it's productive in terms of like advice, what's your best advice to get back into it? Mine would literally just be to stop being a fucking gimp and start taking action towards
I
actually what you
think
want.
like I know there was one point in prep when I was kind of like this, and I know it's different than an off season because off season, like you said, you don't have that urgency, and in prep you do. But there was one point in prep when I was kind of just starting to feel sorry for myself, And all it took was for me to wake up one day, put on a fucking podcast, and go for a walk. And then while I was on the walk, I was just thinking, right, you need to fucking like snap in now. Just start with like little things, little 1%, and those 1% just add up. And it works the other way. Like if you start slipping and letting your standards drop, maybe 1% each day, maybe it could be a rep in the gym that you didn't get. Then maybe it could be your meal timings. Then it could be your sleep. Suddenly, if you do that over the course of a week, that builds up to 2 weeks, 4 weeks,
Yep.
a couple of months, you've let your standards slip like 20%.
Yeah.
And that can be the difference between you winning on stage and not. So anytime I start to feel my standards slipping, I'll just look back at my stage pictures and just be like, right, you need to be better than this. And that gives me that urgency. And I think the fact that I'm kind of doing like taking 1 year off, going again, 1 year off, going again, that does give me that urgency because it's like, okay, now we push on to prep. We've got like a year of growing, then we pull back or pre-prep. We've got a year of growing, pre-prep, push on, prep. So it gives me a little bit more structure.
Yeah.
But even in the past couple of months, I have sort of felt like time has just gone by so quickly. And I'm
Everything
like,
like blurs together, doesn't it?
it's
Before
like
you
People
know
don't
it,
so
you
much
get
realize that
time.
you've
though.
been
People don't realize that. Like, see for myself, I competed back in 2022, and my next season's 2026, like
Yeah.
next year. And time will go like that. And whenever you break it down into individual phases, like you might have big long off season, diet down for a little bit. Big long off season, diet down for a little bit. Big off season, then you might start the pre-prep. You might only have X amount of gaining phases. And whenever you break it down into individual phases, you don't have as long as you might have initially thought. Like if you're thinking about, oh right, I've got fucking 3 years worth of growing. Realistically, you probably don't have 3 years. It's going to be less, including diets in between, just slight resets, things like that, getting yourself in better positions. Like people don't realize how fast things will just go past you, if you're just thinking about it like that, you know?
yeah.
And alongside that, I think for me, with me, my position being a little bit different, obviously having competed the farthest time since you guys,
Yep.
I've been in the off season for a good amount of time. So again, with not having that kind of immediate goal in front of me, I think my approach to training maybe can be a little bit different in terms of what, because I don't have the thing of like, right, okay, I'm competing next year because 2022 it wasn't then, 2023 it wasn't then, 2024 I had that, but then we moved the prep, and 2025 is this year, and we've got
Yeah.
that now. But I think that one of the big things that people should be doing is actually just, like self-reviewing themselves and like keeping yourself in check. So whenever you're sending your check-in across your coach or whatever you're doing, actually just have a word with yourself. Like think to yourself, am
Instead of
I?
just like putting it into the sheets quickly, like let me just fill this
Yeah,
as quick as I can, send a quick voice note, and that's me done, and don't think about it. Get the feedback back, and then you get the feedback, and you're like, I'll go check in, and then like you just go about your day, and you don't
yeah,
even.
that's that for another week.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Like, you need to. There's no point in the coach holding you accountable if you can't hold yourself accountable. It means absolutely sweet fuck all.
Yeah.
Like if they're telling you, all right, we need to do this, we need to do that. Like you need to improve your training. It's your daily habits that matter in that sense. It's not what they're telling you to do. It's how well you can actually implement it. And like a lot of people just get super fucking slack on that because they
Even
don't
with
actually
that, there'll
review
be
things.
things that people don't mention to their coaches, and then before you know it, their coaches will think things okay, things can improve, but they don't get the full picture. So
Yeah.
have yourself in fucking check. Like if there's something that you're not fully opening up about, actually hold yourself to that and be like, right, okay, shit, maybe this can be better. And like I posted that today, and it was like the goals that you're setting yourself, are your behaviors reflecting on that? Are you actually holding yourself to that same standard of, okay, if you're saying that you want to achieve this, but your actions, instead of matching your goals, your actions are down here, and there's all this discrepancy in between here that your actions need to be up with as well. Are you actually doing that? And if not, what are the little ways that you can start to do it? I think that a lot of people will want to do a lot of things straight away, and then they'll drown in it because, like, holy fuck, this is something so different. And no one should just be having to go from 0 to 100. It should be getting yourself more familiar with things and building things up and building habits over time. It's just habit stacking. And again, adding on those good weeks, letting them roll by and fucking stacking them up. You don't just go from 0 to 100. You have to build your way up.
Yeah.
And it's about picking up, right, okay, this would be better. Maybe I could wake up and a bit more consistently at this time. Okay, I'll do that for a good few days. Okay, now that I'm doing that, feeling a little bit better. Let's try and get some steps in the morning, then get meal one at this time. Give that another few days. Oh, now my morning routine feels so much more productive.
Yeah.
Boom, you've got that sorted. So
That can
I
be
think,
the difference between you literally training well, you like getting your meals in and shit, like just waking up at the same time. You feel good for it.
I honestly think that's why prep is so productive for people because their
Yeah,
morning routine is fucking locked in.
Yeah.
Like you might wake up like 5:30 in the morning immediately, piss, pose, check in with their coach, shower, out for a walk, get the majority of their steps done, back in, meal one, or they've got cardio done. Either meal one, crack on with work before 7 o'clock.
yeah, it
Got all their
was.
work done by 10,
Yeah.
and they've got half of their steps done more. They've got all their cardio done. Now all their attention is on training. And then once they've trained, they relax and recover.
They
And
relax, chill out, like do little things here and there to move their
yeah,
business forward or to do things that they wanted to do, to fucking study Japanese,
like
to
people, yeah,
maybe
people talk
like,
about prep productivity. It all comes from that morning routine that people have.
yeah.
And
It,
then that sets you up perfectly. And you can exactly learn a new language or you can grow your business and go full time. Like it
yeah,
all comes from that morning routine, in my
So
opinion.
easy to not do it in the off season as well, because again, there's no urgency. Like, I think a lot of people, something that I used to struggle with, and especially with working, like when I started up coaching, and even to now, like I still work with some younger people who maybe, like 6 years of school, and it gets to a point where they go and study leave, and they're like, mate, I can't wait for this. My train's gonna be so good, this and that. But they start waking up at 11 o'clock, twelve
Yeah,
yeah.
o'clock,
They're playing
and they're like,
Fortnite.
mate, I feel so burnt out and so tired and so this and that. I'm like, no, you just feel lazy because you're being lazy. Like it's making you feel super tired. You've got no real direction. You've got no consistency with your routine. You're staying up till 3 in the morning playing Xbox. Like it's just there's nothing there keeping you consistent. Whereas school was like, right, you wake up at 7 a.m., you get to school and you're like, I fucking hate that. Like I don't want to do that. It's enjoyable, this and that. But then as soon as that gets taken away from you and you lose your routine, you feel 10 times worse. You feel lost and like obviously it won't be to that kind of extent for a lot of people between like prep and gaining phases, but even if it's a change from waking up at, 5:30 to like 6:30, it's a big difference. Like your meals are behind a little bit, you're behind on work. That's a good few check-ins you could have done. It's very easy to slip into that. So again, it comes down to not feeling sorry for yourself, I think, and being like, oh well, it's just I'm in the gaining phase, so who cares if I wake up that little bit later, this and that, and you end up kind of making those excuses for yourself, and as you say, Matt, like before you know it, there's a lot of them there and they've all kind of compounded up because compound like habits can go both ways. They can go really fucking well and before you know it like you're up 15 kg on one of your lifts because every single week you're like moving forwards, moving forwards, moving forwards and you're in that rhythm. If you can keep that rhythm going, perfect. Don't allow yourself to break it. If it's bad habits, you need to fucking break it. Again, just sit and kind of self-analyze, be like, right, I need to actually change this. What am I going to do to do it? Do it. So make sure that your habits are making sure that you're going in the right direction is a big thing. I
Mhm.
think, in my opinion.
No.
Before you go, Matt, questions?
Far away.
Um, oh, this is a good one to start.
Oh God.
100 Noah Campbells versus one female.
Oh,
Incredible.
Oh, I think the female will win.
Wait, I'm saying, see if Casey and I, God forbid, were ever to break up, I don't think I could speak to a female.
Oh, mate, I
I'd be
was.
so far
I've
out of
tried
love.
recently and it's not going well. It's just
I think whenever you're in a longer, obviously my relationship was not anywhere near as long as yours and Casey's. Like I was going out with Charlotte for what, just under 3 years. And I remember going and then going out to clubs afterwards and going to bars and trying to like talk to girls. I was like, oh my God, I'm a fucking mess. I don't know how what I'm doing here. And it was like I remember because I think that you're looking for that kind of like relationship right afterwards. You're
Yeah.
like, oh, I was talking to so no, you just winched a girl in a night out, mate. Get a fucking grip. But that mate, talking to a girl after a breakup's actual appalling.
that's when learning your posing comes in handy because you can just hit front lat spread,
Teacup.
or you can even
Got
just
a
hit
drink down.
like we up and thigh and show all the detail, and then they're
I
loving it.
love it. Yeah, I'm sure that will get them. Oh, we've
Yeah.
also got another one for Noah. Noah, can we have a Ninja Creamy review?
Oh, is
Yeah,
that
that's
Leo?
Yeah, good guess.
Oh, Mr. Food
Guy's eating
Focus.
like 5,000 calories. Is incredibly food focused.
Mr. Social Occasion himself. Fucking great. It's so good. I've been using either S'mores
Mhm.
Perform Weight
Nice.
or cereal milk and then mixing in a couple of Oreo thins or a couple of Biscoff biscuits and then oh it's fucking so
Is it like proper good consistency, like
yeah.
smooth and shit? Or
Yeah, it's like really smooth. I
what's
put
the
it
macros like? Like, what does it end up
macros
with?
are good, like I'm talking. 40 grams of protein, 8 grams of fat, and like trace carbs, like 10 or so grams.
Wild.
Like it's really good.
That
Um,
is indeed a
and
prep pack.
digestion is going down absolutely fine as well. So I can't complain.
Can you bring it
If
down
up
this
here running
weekend?
out, but he doesn't want to admit it, I'm just going to keep it in. I'm going to keep it
What were you
in.
saying, Matt?
Can you bring it down this weekend?
Ah, fuck, I
Get
do
on
not
the
think I'll fit that in my hand
I was
luggage,
going
to
to
be
say if we were driving, then yes, but
honest with me, Earth. Yeah, if we're
he's
driving,
up, he's up there, bro.
if we're driving down, then yeah, but flying obviously. So no.
Can we just buy Finn a creamy and then
Yeah,
take
that's,
Birthday present.
Finn
Um,
ain't gonna fucking watch
He's
this.
not watching
Finn's
this.
not
Yeah, he's
watching
not
this back.
watching.
Absolutely no chance.
Yeah.
What
Does
a
anyone
show.
know what day his birthday is?
Saturday. I asked him in his check.
Is
I checked in.
Right.
I said, I feel like it's because I said to you, I was like, I feel like it's Tuesday. So I just said, happy birthday. If it's not today, then happy birthday whenever it is. Let me know in the check in. He goes, oh yeah, it's actually Saturday.
Is it the 17th? I thought it was the 17th. Yeah, that is the date.
I need to get him a card, and I think we need to get him a cake.
Oh, I've got cake.
You've got enough cake for everyone. The whole of Loughborough, like.
Oh yeah.
I think what could we get him or what should we get him? I think we should all do because have any of you got my present? Yeah, we should probably chip in for one.
Yeah, I mean, no,
We're
we all
terrible friends slash business
Could we
partners.
just pay for the barbecue?
Yeah, 755. Fuck
fuck me.
that.
Change yourself,
No,
Matt.
no. All
I'll
this
pay for the
money
Higgs
man.
sausages. How about
I'll pay for the burgers.
that?
You do burgers, you do sausages, I'll do chicken.
Yeah.
Sick.
Birthday mate. Cheers. Thanks for everything, man.
Cheers, Mucka.
Yeah. I think I'd like to get an ninja creamy to be fair if I'm in prep, but absolutely not right now.
Yeah, I just can't be arsed with it.
Not a
You don't
chance.
have to like do it like a day before or something.
Yeah, it's like 20 hours, but mate, it takes 2 fucking minutes. It takes
That's
two.
crazy.
I'm not waiting 20 hours for a meal.
Yeah, no.
No, it's because like if I know that the weather's nice the next day, I'm like, right, sound, I'm just gonna whack it in and I'll have it in the sun.
Yeah, that's a good shout to be fair.
Or just buy a
How
couple of Ben
harsh is
Jerry's.
your cut-off time for 7 o'clock? Harsh?
What is it?
For your cut-off time at 7, like, do you need to go? Like,
I'll message the guy and
is it a call? Closing call?
yeah, but I've got time. Like he's sweet.
Cool. Um, just we've got three more questions. We'll blast through them quickly.
Yeah.
Favorite hobby outside of the gym?
Oh, stroking.
Wanking.
Why? Does jorking it count? Um, but yeah, mine would probably just be language acquisition.
Oh, they both.
I quite like listening to foreign music. So I listen to like Spanish music and Portuguese music
Mm.
to kind of help me learn new words and stuff.
It is.
Languages is
Golf,
good.
golf and cars.
Such a virgin.
I like
You said language acquisition or something?
Yeah, mate, fucking get it
Zelensky.
up, you. You speak English because it's the only language that you know. I speak English because it's the only language that you know.
Count to 10 and count to German.
Ooh.
Count to 10 in
Oh,
German, so I'm
I like
bilingual.
I like number 6 in German.
Yeah.
Yeah, look at the sweat patches there.
Nice. Right, next
I
one's
like rugby. I like rugby. That's my hobby. Sorry.
that's okay. Just interrupt me, mate. That's all good.
I didn't want to talk, mate.
No, that's fine. Should a coach and a competitor do the same show against each other?
If you trust your coach, yeah. And if the
Yeah.
coach is sound, 100%.
Yeah, if he's not a dickhead.
Could you imagine fucking like a coach would fuck someone's peak like
Yeah, sorry, mate. You've got
yeah,
nailed
maybe
at all this week. Imagine. Finn
fuck.
and I competed in a good few shows together, but like weren't in the same class.
Yeah,
Like,
Finn wouldn't be the type of coach to do that. Like
yeah, not a
we know
chance.
him well enough.
yeah.
I think if you're with a coach for a short period of time and you start getting those doubts in your head, then just move coach.
Yeah.
Because
Very
you'll
jelly.
start stressing about it anyway. So
Yeah. And then finally, when is Josh's next prep? Still 2026? Possibly. We'll see. Again,
Oh.
training. Oh, X weeks out. Yeah. Cheers, Noah. But yeah, we'll see. Back at my all-time heavy, it's just now 83 kg, which is heavy for me. Training's going all right. Left shoulder's still absolutely fucked. So if that gets better, then yes, but it's been like 8 months now and it's not getting significantly better, so that's great. But
Matt, how much do you weigh?
hmm?
How much do you weigh?
186 pounds.
Is it? I thought you were heavier than that.
I'm
That's about the
pretty,
same as me then.
pretty light.
You're
Victim
a
weight?
little bit heavier than me.
I'd be my peak off season weight last time was like 192.3.
You're
Jesus. That was your
84
peak.
point.
Yeah, mate. I'm like
You're
small boned. I'm
84.5
really
kg
small
just now.
boned, so I don't like
Mate, you're just
weight.
all fucking forearm.
Yeah. Hmm. Does that cause you a hobby, eh? Jorking it.
Wait, what's that in what's 190?
84.5 kg is weight just now. It would have been what, like 87 kg peak last time? 87, 88?
Fuck. Oh.
No, I swear I was like up at
What did
no
you say your peak was? What, 192?
193.
Yeah, that's
193
88
pounds.
kg.
Is it?
Yeah, 88.
Fucking
I feel
hell.
like I should be weighing more than that.
You've put in
Finn's
an
like
awful
200 pounds
show.
just now. Finn's 200
I'm
pounds.
heavier than Finn. I look
Finn's
it. I
Finn's a
look
big
it.
bit of a liar.
I still can't believe last year I was like 95, 96 kilos.
Finn was like 110.
Yeah, that's mental.
He was actually like obese, so
I
Yeah,
remember the
back
first time I
then.
saw Finn, he was in his chunky boy era.
Yeah.
A wild
he had
look.
like the chin
Mine,
strap beard as well
Yeah,
because he couldn't grow a
he's
mustache.
actually just PVA glued barbershop floor onto his face.
mine when we were in prep, because he was obviously prepping at the same time as me and his face was mad skinny. I was like, I'm gonna go watch like one of his old videos randomly. I was like, I have nothing else to watch. And I was just like, what the fuck? Like,
Nice.
that's
Yeah.
not the same human being. Because I hadn't like realized it at the time, but like, cause it's like a slow change, then you look back and I was genuinely like, that's not Finn. Does not look like the same person at all. So yeah, hopefully Finn doesn't become a fat mess again.
Mm. I'm excited for us three to all be skeletons next year, though. That'll be cool.
Yeah,
Yeah, I wouldn't mind us all doing the same show if we can.
get Finn to prep and all.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Masters. OAP division.
Hmm.
He's getting on.
Fair
But
play.
next year, I would all be doing the later shows, I assume.
Yeah.
Mhm. Have
We
you planned your
got
shows out?
Me,
Yeah, as in you
um,
because you're good doing like some Japanese ones, aren't you?
yeah, it'll be the back end of the season, but I start my pre-prep in 7 weeks,
sick.
which is fucking mental. But I'm away in
Fucking
England the
brilliant.
next 5 weeks, so I've not got time for off plans.
No, that is perfect. That is perfect opportunity for our plans.
No,
Yeah.
yeah, true.
Yeah,
I get
exactly.
multiple off plans.
More, more, more.
I get 7 weeks. I've only got 21 off plans to have. But no, like I we were saying in the check-in that a couple of weeks ago, it's like it's the beginning of prep. Like this is the chunk of body fat that's going to be like, the big chunk that comes off at the beginning, and it starts in 7 weeks. So I'm excited for that. I've said my goals of what I want to achieve next year. So we'll see how I look when I'm lean, if I'm competitive or not.
Yeah,
Inshallah.
mashallah. Yeah, sounds all good to go. Matt, pose call. I'm gonna do my natural physique hub lecture on training for this week
Yeah.
because I've not quite done mine yet. Noah, you as well, maybe? I don't know.
Yes, I've got new setups to do.
Nice.
I'm onboarding some new people. Guy from the States.
Lovely. First
First,
one as
first,
a whole.
first American joining the team. So if you're watching this, Wyatt, welcome.
Okay.
But yeah,
Sick.
that's
Spot
pretty good.
on. Thank you for listening to another episode. Hopefully you enjoyed us rambling shite for 45 minutes or so, I think. So thank you all. Have a wonderful morning, afternoon, evening, wherever you're watching, and we should chat soon. See ya.
Bye.